Howdy, everyone, and welcome to Off the Rail Podcast, your podcast for everything circus. We're your off the rail ringmasters. I'm R. This is B. How you
Oh,
doing,
I'm
B?
doing good. I'm pretty excited about today's episode.
Perfect. We will get to that in a second. With that said, today's sponsor is the Red Nose Factory. We will talk about them more later. Um, we also today is a very special episode, like you said, because a couple things. Number one, we'd like to thank our viewers and our guests for getting us to 100 subscribers. So, with that said, we have a very special episode and a very special guest today. A guy I had the privilege of working under and calling brother, and I enjoyed every moment of it. He is the last Trainmaster, the ringmaster of the rails, if you will, Joshua Rupert. How are you doing, my friend, my boy, my brother?
I'm good, guys. How about yourselves? You guys doing good?
Hey, man, we're getting there.
Fantastic.
We're enjoying life.
Good to hear it.
So, I guess right off the bat, we get at this. What before we get into the whole last Trainmaster thing, because we're going to build into that. What got you into trains?
um, I guess growing up, seeing some of my family being on the trains and then going up to a railroad crossing or something with my dad, who was trying to get ideas for his model railroad, HO scale model railroad. I guess got me into all the trains as a kid. Um, and what actually got me into being able to work on trains was I guess just the luck of the draw and a phone call from family and an opportunity to try something I'd never done before.
Right on, right on. And that's what led to obviously the circus. So explain that journey. How'd that journey spark off?
All right. So I have I'd moved from Oregon to Colorado to leave a uh, not so great situation and into a better but not so great situation. And uh, Turtle, everybody who knows Turtle, for the people that don't, Turtle is a well-known
Yep.
figure on the circus train and happens to be my aunt. She called me up one day because she knew in the situation I was in that I would have to go back to the worst situation eventually because I, yeah. And she asked, well, why don't you come try your luck on the circus train? And I thought about it and to be able to actually say you ran away to the circus, a lot of people joke around and say, I'm just going to run away to the circus. Well, we
Yeah.
all did. It wasn't
Right.
a
Yeah.
catchphrase. It was actual.
But hey, fun fact, real quick.
Okay.
I had one of my best friends growing up, still my boy. He's actually my oldest friend, known him since the '80s. He actually reminded me, and I don't even remember this, that I told him that when we were kids, and then boom. So
Yeah. And just being able to just the fact that I'd be able to say I actually ran away to the circus was the first initial uh idea that, hey, we should do this, and I knew this would definitely be a learning experience and definitely something that I needed both mentally and emotionally to move forward in life and find my
sure.
calling. So absolutely. And so she had talked to the world renowned, the Mr. Famous Mr. Hickey, and which is Mike Hickey, the
Heard a lot
previous
about Mr. Yep.
train master for Ringling Brothers. And a week later, I got a call and I got a job offer. And the original offer was for porter, which a porter on the circus train is basically the crew that goes in. They make sure the cars are clean and stocked and maintenance and stuff like that, all on the whole entire circus train. So a vital part of being on the circus train, because we all live there.
Yes.
Just about everybody that was on the
Which
circus lived on the train, so they were a vital part
right.
of making sure that we had living quarters that were good to go.
And technically, that was the crew I was part
Yes,
of.
sir. Yes, you
Yes.
were. Yep.
So,
And you
yep.
guys are the
I
rock
was the
stars.
for everybody who doesn't know, I was the handyman. So people are learning about us as we go. So,
Yeah.
um, before we move to the next job after the porter, real quick, tell us, uh, is there any good stories you could think of as your time as a porter that's a fond memory?
Well, funny story is I was hired as a porter, but as soon as I showed up, my first day, like the day I got off the airplane, Junior, which was the
Ah, yeah,
which was the uh, Filipino redneck, our brother,
yeah,
yeah,
Junior.
Junior. He uh, he picked me up.
Oh
Well, in
Lord.
picking me up, I'm not a small guy. Uh,
Right.
I'm 6 foot one, 250 on a good day. And as soon as he seen my stature, he said, "No way are you going to be a porter. No way. No, you're going to come to train crew." So between the time I got picked up from the venue, getting off the airplane to the time I made it to the train, I actually I don't I guess you I want to say promoted because it's still the lowest. Uh, um, I transitioned from porter to train crew uh, mechanic in the span of 45 minutes or so. So I didn't really have a whole lot of time as a porter.
Okay. All right.
So I can speak on the mechanic job. Basically, when I first started, it was learning the ins and outs of the basic entry level repairs on a circus train car, a passenger car. Day to day function was changing brake shoes, learning how to inspect the train, what you want to look for, which is vital to ensuring that our next trip goes smoothly and there's no hiccups or, God forbid, accidents en route to our next city.
Oh yeah, don't need that.
So, I spent the next few months, learning what was needed, what was expected, and I grabbed a hold of it real quick. I mean, my background has always been mechanical my whole life, and I wanted to get out of the
Right on.
automotive, working on cars because of the industry, and so what little kid doesn't want to work on a train? I mean, growing up, you might
Sure.
want to be an
Yeah. Wow.
astronaut, you might want to be a doctor, but every kid, whether they play with an HO scale or they've seen a trail going across a train going across a crossing, every kid, at least for 5 seconds, thought about, man, I want to be that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
So
absolutely.
I wouldn't say so much it fulfilled a childhood dream, but there was a whole lot of excitement in the back of my head just growing up around trains that I had grown up that, uh, you know, fulfilled my curiosity.
Awesome.
All right on. Now, your time as a mechanic, have you ever had some like real head scratchers? Like, how did this like? Uh,
They're just being on the circus in general. I don't want to say it just as a mechanic only, but what a lot of people, especially the people who hadn't really got the prestige or the honor of actually being there and working there and living there. Um, it's a whole different world, and it's a whole different world with just about every single solitary uh, race and culture and religion, and it's all just bunched up. It's basically I guess you'd say Miami would be the best example because I've been to Miami a few times, and I mean, you've got everybody from every walk of life and just about every country, every language, every religion in Miami. So I'd say take
on.
Miami and put it in a big, long mile and a quarter to a mile and a half long steel tube, and that was the circus train. I mean, you got so many different cultures and so many different ideologies and so many different
Uh,
um, walks of life that it's
Miami's
amazing. I mean,
supposed.
I grew up in a very small town, so that was probably one of the biggest culture shocks, I guess, for me is learning all these different walks of life and all these different personalities and cultures that I had never
Oh yeah.
experienced living in a small town.
Right on. How long were you a mechanic for on the circus train?
I was a mechanic for, I'd say, 3 or 4 months, maybe a little bit longer than that. And then uh, one of the air brakeman that was currently on there, Ron. Coswick. He decided that he was going to try his hand at transpo up as a position that opened up in transpo. So he had decided to try his hand at that, and an opportunity opened up. And me and Ron were really good friends, so he put in a really good word for me to Mr. Hickey, and I got moved up to air brakeman once he took over as transpo boss.
Okay. What does that position entail?
I believe that's the
Oh,
list
wow.
of I believe that's the timeline. I could be off a little bit, but
Well, that's fine. You're
so
good.
then the one of the cool things is your stature or your living situation on the circus train moves up as you move up. So I was in a standard room, and for the people that don't know a train car, a standard room on a train car would be a 14 to a 12 room car, and so your room would be roughly, what was it, Ray? 4 feet by 7 feet.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Enough room you could stand in it and touch each
Yeah,
wall
yeah, you could
almost.
definitely be a small person and still touch wall to wall. So you'd have a
The
bed. At the end of your bed, you had like a makeshift closet with a couple drawers. Just to the left or right of your bed, you'd have a sink and a cabinet, and then you'd have a mini fridge, and that was your room. 4 foot, 4 foot wide, 7 feet long, and roughly 7 feet high. And there was 14 rooms on the car. Well, when you move up, you get promoted to other positions in the circus, then your room moves up. So I got bumped up to a bigger room, which was definitely a plus. Uh, I get a little claustrophobic, so I didn't spend a whole lot of the time unless I was sleeping in my room. And I moved up to, I believe it was a mini state. I didn't have my own bathroom, but
right.
I had probably 3 times the size of the room. I had a full countertop, kitchen, stove, a little bit bigger fridge, much bigger bed, uh, and then my bathroom was right as you walk out the door, and there was only 3 of us that shared it instead of 14. So that was definitely
Oh
a
yeah.
huge plus.
So for the people who don't know at home, the first room he was talking about, the standard, we also called them coffins,
Coffins.
if that would tell you anything.
and,
You
and management,
literally
upper management,
like
did
this.
not like us
Yeah.
calling it that. They
Yeah.
they we would
You,
get we would get a talking to every time we called it a coffin, and they would just have it. I mean,
yeah.
that's what they've always been called.
You literally slept in them, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Yep. Uh,
When you weren't sleeping, you got out of them
yeah, I
things.
don't know too many people that just hung out in their in
Yeah.
their coffin uh, for too long, other than sleeping. It was a big cramp.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. Also on the Miami, that was I don't know if you were there. I think that was the town we did what was it, a 3 hour load in or load out?
uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't think loadout. 3 hour loadout. I don't think we ever had a 3 hour loadout.
Or maybe okay, maybe it was a
It
load
might have
in
been a
then.
load in, yeah, but loadout. There's no way you're getting all the wagons in
Oh,
three
yeah.
hours. Even if every
Yeah,
single
you're
one of
right.
those wagons were loaded before we started, it would take the tow trucks way longer than 3 hours to get them all together.
Oh wait. It was no, we did that in Kentucky
Oh,
where
Louisville,
but
yeah,
in
but you
fairness,
got to look at the setup in
yeah,
Louisville.
it was right there.
The setup in Louisville is you
We were
literally drive off the flat cars and right into the back of the building.
yeah,
So definitely
so yeah,
feasible in
that was
Louisville.
right
Yeah,
there.
no, I can see that now that you brought up Louisville. Yeah, but I don't think
Yeah,
there are
that
too
was
many, if any, other places that was even possible.
right.
And then you got to take into
So
consideration the opposite side of the coin. That was a super fast load in, load out. I mean, we get to Brooklyn in New York, and
oh,
the flats are covered in,
oh,
probably an inch
ice.
thick worth of ice because we went through a snowstorm, and then the
Oh
snow
yeah.
melted in a little bit warmer climate, and then we got back up in the cold, and everything refroze. And I think we were looking at, oh shoot, it was shoot, 16-hour load in.
That was no, that was 19
19
hours
hours.
if I
Oh, it
remember.
was horrible. It was,
19 we went back to the train for a whopping 2 hours to come back and do a 14-hour load
yeah.
in.
Most lesser men and women would have definitely quit at that point right then and there. Between that
Oh,
and
you ain't lying.
the frozen pipe apocalypse,
Oh my
Uniondale.
God. Oh,
Those were the two instances in my
under the
career
train,
that I could see if I was any less of a, any less of a man, I would have quit.
constantly under that train. Fix one leak, run the water, boom, there's the
Yep,
next one.
and it never stopped.
Suck it dry, do it
Yep,
again. And then remember the pie car, we had a hole underneath fixed, ran the water, then we hear yelling from inside, hear the ceiling. It was coming
yeah,
through the freaking
yeah.
ceiling.
I think we literally almost replaced. I'd say in the least car that we had to fix the least amount of stuff would have been probably 30 to 40% of the water system we had to replace. Some cars, I swear, we probably replaced just about every inch of pipe.
Oh, you ain't
And it
lying.
felt like it,
Oh
and
my gosh.
we did this in freezing temperatures. I think
Oh
there were
yeah.
days where it was -10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was not a fun
No,
time. I remember taking
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
yeah,
Yep.
Philly is
Philly.
another one of the train roads. Yep.
Yep. And then
And I remember taking a blowtorch to the chain block.
yeah, yeah, torch the chain blocks. Yep. Uh, um, and then once again, opposite side of the coin, we're talking about freezing temperatures and being miserable in the cold. Go to Vegas, go to New Mexico, and we had
Oof.
the air conditioning apocalypse.
Yeah.
I
Phoenix or
think it was
no,
Vegas.
was it Phoenix
I think it started in
or was
Phoenix,
it
yes, but
Vegas?
it showed tenfold in Vegas,
Yeah,
and it carried over to wherever we went after Vegas, where
it was like a
we probably had to
120 degrees in a
replace
car.
60% of the train's AC units, the compressors.
Yep.
We'd have to get with
Like
John Chu on that
120
one. I'm
degrees.
sure he remembers that very distinctly because that was probably the
Oh
moment where
yeah.
John Chu wanted to quit.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where John Chu started questioning his life decisions.
Oh, you ain't
Yeah,
lying there. Oh my God.
yeah. And then so I stayed air brakeman for let's see, it started in 2010, and we left. Me and Talita, my wife, we had gotten custody. I got in custody of my son Giovanni from his mom when he was 3. And so we had stayed for a little bit of time, and then we had sent him to my parents because different city every week wasn't really what he needed. He
Oh yeah.
needed structure, and shortly after we sent him to my parents, me and Toledo made the decision that it was probably best that we stepped away for a while, if not permanently, to get Giovanni back on track because he was definitely a messed up little dude, and we wanted to make sure that he got everything he needed,
Sure.
and so we focused on that and left in 2013. Yep.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Really didn't want to, because I loved what I did, and I loved all the perks, I guess you could say, of being on a circus train,
Yeah.
and but we did what was best for Giovanni.
Hey man, you gotta take care of the kids, right?
Absolutely. And then
Absolutely.
I think it was 2015. Yeah, so less than 2 years. I think it was less than 2 years, but real close to 2 years. Um. Oh,
So,
sorry.
what did you do in those 2 years?
I was a equipment manager for the largest construction company in Colorado Springs. I managed all their equipment, all the maintenance, all the
Oh wow.
repairs. Um, and then I actually built high rail vehicles after the construction company. I got a better opportunity, and I built high rail vehicles for BNSF and Union Pacific Railroad. So all their high rail trucks, their pickup trucks for the road foremans, all the way up to the big trucks that hauled the big freight liners that hauled the track. We built those from the ground up.
Oh wow.
No,
Nice.
I don't.
and actually, I believe I'm wrong. I think I built the high rail vehicles first, and then I went to the construction company because I had to leave the high rail company because I got in a really bad snowboarding accident that scrambled my eggs pretty good, and I forgot how to do my job. And I used to drink. I always tell everybody I drank Pepsi and listened to hip hop prior to my snowboarding accident, and after my snowboarding accident, I started listening to country and drinking Coca Cola. So just
Wow.
the ones that I like to explain, but I basically had to learn who I was over again because I was yeah, it was a bad TBI, and scrambled my brain pretty bad. So I had left the construction company after being on disability for a little over a year. Wanted to get back in the job force, didn't like not working, and that's when I started with the construction company. Yep.
All right on.
And then
And
Mr.
then
Zagella,
What led
my
you back?
brother, my buddy from way back in the day. He was there when I first came on the circus train. We became, really good friends, and it became, what we call brothers. A friend is a friend, but a brother is for life, and a brother is,
yeah, Roger that.
yeah. He called me and let me know of a situation going on the train, and he thought that if he could get me back, we could fix that situation and make it make sense again. And so he stayed in Rob Lang's ear for it's probably 3-4 months, just steadily throwing it at him. And then
Real quick, who's Rob Lang?
Rob Lang is the was the general
Oh, yeah,
manager at the time that I'm speaking of.
yeah.
He was a
Was it?
general manager of the show. Yep.
And it was Jeff Boudreaux
It
before
was
that, right?
Boudreaux before that. That's correct. I worked under
Yep.
Boudreaux. When I left, it was still Boudreaux, and then when I came back, it was Mr. Lang.
Okay.
Yep. Mr. Lang gave me a call and basically said that he understood and he hears that I might be the solution to his problem. And explain, I don't really want to explain it out loud, kind of confidential and conversation,
That's
but
fine.
just that he felt I
Roger
had the
that.
tools and I had the mindset and the perseverance to come on there and fix some stuff. And so me and my wife talked about it and thought about it, and we decided we wanted to do that. So round 2 at Ringling Brothers. I never thought in a million years for number 1 I'd ever go to be on a circus or on a train, and I got to do it twice. So I got to
Nice.
leave and come back. So I come back as assistant trainmaster. I was hired as assistant trainmaster, and shortly after the phone call, we packed up our life, put it in storage, and headed back to the circus train. And I think we hopped on. That's a hard one. Trying to think where we hopped
Yeah, I'm
on.
trying to remember too.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
I don't remember.
It wasn't West Virginia, was it?
No, it wasn't Charleston. Now I'm not certain what city I hopped on. It was early season, so it was probably the first quarter of the season, maybe just past the first quarter of the season of the
Yeah.
year of the show. And
Somewhere on the East Coast.
yeah, I want to say it's East Coast, but I don't think it was up north. I think it was more central, like maybe Kentucky or somewhere I joined. But me and I joined back train crew as assistant train master. My wife came with me, and Giovanni came with me, and
Yeah.
and we started round 2 at the circus. It was really good. Got to really learn. I had been a manager of people before, but not anything as in depth as this, especially to unionized employees. And so it was definitely a very very great experience learning how to be a manager of that aspect, and then learning how to be a good manager. I'm not going to say I was the best. I'm not going to say I was the greatest. I can definitely say I was fair, and I feel personally, I did a really
I
good
thought you
job.
did a
But
good job.
uh,
I thought you did.
yeah, I mean, I did the best I could, and
Yeah.
I must have done something right because eventually, the train master, the current train master, left, and I took over, and that's when that's when the best parts of this story. Uh, that's when the best parts of the story really get to start, because just you never really know what the train master does. You never really know because most of the stuff that he does is behind the curtain. He's Mr. Wizard, talking to Dorothy. A lot of the stuff that he does, we don't even know. Like even train crew have no idea what goes into being a train master, and I had no
Right.
idea what went into being a train master. I thought assistant train master was this ain't too bad. I manage people. I deal with I deal with situations, and I manage, all basically me and the train master, we were in charge of managing all the people while the train was in motion, and managing the rail crews and the head-in locomotives that pull us from city to city. And I knew we managed that, but no, not even I'm not even a speck of what I thought I understood the train master job would be. And I can honestly say it was the best. One, it was the best decision I ever made to take the train master position. But two, I am
Sure.
130% grateful that I had that opportunity. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Right
it
on.
was probably the next to having my kids, marrying my wife. It was the peak of my life story so far.
Right
Yeah.
on. Were you now? I heard a story. I don't know if it's true. Um, I don't even know if you were there for it. It was definitely before I showed up. Um, I heard at one point that I don't remember what town they were leaving, but they did a loadout and they left, and half the train was accidentally left behind.
Yes, and now that you brought it up, I didn't say it, so I can talk about it.
That's fine.
That was indeed one of the leading factors as to what put me in the train master position. That it was one of many, but that was probably one of the last and one of the
Oh wow.
most whiskey tango foxtrot moments. How do you leave without your train? And yeah, so we left, and I can't even remember how long it took before anybody even realized. I mean, not only did our train master or transportation or anybody know that we left the train, but not even the railroad. The railroad, I mean, even the car count.
Wow.
You're going through defect detectors, which whoever don't know what a defect detector is, every rail car has a tag mounted on each side of the rail car. It's called an AEI tag, and it's a automatic equipment identifier. I believe is the correct. I know I'm somewhere in there. I could be right. I could be off a little bit, but that's basically what it is. It'll give you the car number. It'll give you the length of the car, some other birth certificate information, but it'll also relay any kind of issues if that car goes through a defect detector, which detects defects below the bottom of the car. So any of the running gear, wheels, anything like that. If you get a high kip, or if you get a dragging wheel, or if you get a kip, I apologize. I got to explain this. I forget. Not everybody knows. A kip is how many times a wheel slaps the track. So um, it is a defect in the early stages of a kip. Not that big of a deal. You can sometimes fix it with tread refining brake shoes, which is from a standard just brake shoe, composite brake shoe. It's actually a composite brake shoe with a metal center, and that metal center actually, as we're going down the rails, refines the tread of the wheel. And 9 out of 10 times, as long as you catch it in the early stages, can refine the tread of the wheel and fix any minor defects that could potentially become major defects later in that wheel's life. So the AEI tag and the defect
Roger that.
detector will tell you, hey, your kips, you got kips, or you got a hot box, which is a hot bearing, or low hanging, something's hanging off the train lower than what it should be, something could be hanging down, which is a cause for concern because, uh, something hanging down from the train could fly off and hit a car, hit a person, or could potentially get under a wheel and derail us. So those are all reasons that they have these defect detectors. And even the defect detectors, after they give you their messages about all clear, in the beginning, they'll tell you how many cars the AEI tag and the defect detector counted, and et cetera, et cetera. And for some reason, it never set into anybody
Wow.
until, shoot, I didn't find out about it until probably 2-3 hours after I woke up from my rest. So after we're done with load in, load outs, the train master and the assistant train master, and sometimes the chief mechanical officer, is responsible to stay up and make sure everything goes smoothly with, putting the train back together once it's loaded, getting everything set, getting the class 1 air brake test, which is the initial air brake test from leaving from the current location, and making sure that all goes smoothly, and we depart. And then once we depart, make sure that nothing happens, in the initial depart or anything like that. So then we're allowed to, get rest because we'd already been up, most times we're already up for at least 24 hours. I don't think I found out about the parts of the train that were left in the town before 3-4 hours after I woke up. So that was 8, at least 12 hours. And maybe they knew before and I just didn't find out till, X amount of hours afterwards. But yeah, it definitely came in like a brick, because you never want to get that call to
I
say,
bet.
"Hey, you forgot parts of your
Oh,
train."
oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And I thought it was bad. I was talking to another guest that told him about the. I don't know if you remember the time that we got left behind, where the train just drove right by. They were waving at us and everything, and kept going.
No, I don't think. Yeah.
We just got we just got done with loadout, and the train was supposed to come by and hook up to the flats, and we were to hop on. Well, the engine, I forget what town it was, but the engine went by and the guys in the engine waved, and then people and the coaches were waving at us, and the train kept going.
Oh, I do
It
remember
never
that.
stopped.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That situation, no, like that situation, relatively quick, corrected itself a
yeah,
lot quicker than the
sure, sure.
situation we're speaking of, because
Oh,
the
yeah, I
situation we're
bet.
speaking of, they didn't know how they were going to do the show. At least not do concessions, because the cars that were left behind were the concession cars, right? If I remember correctly, I believe it was concession cars and some flat cars, or just concession cars. Um,
What I was told was they, the reason, I guess initially how it was found out was whoever was left behind called and asked why they didn't have power anymore.
oh, what? Man, I'm sorry, guys. I between my Trainmaster days of because I Trainmastered a little bit different than the previous regimes.
Sure.
So between my Trainmaster days of having very little sleep and ungodly amounts of caffeine and Marlboros, and then my current job, which almost requires as much, if maybe not just a little bit more effort, uh, my memory is somewhere. I don't think it's ever coming back.
That's all right, buddy. That's all right.
Uh, Also,
We're getting the
now
gist of things.
now that I think about it, man, I can't believe I can't remember that, because that was such a huge deal. But maybe that I guess it would be a lot more severe leaving coach cars.
Yeah, that's all right. We had a lot of stuff happening in the circus,
Yeah,
buddy.
but
So
did I know for a fact we left the concession cars one time too? So this might be a twofer. This might have happened twice, because I know there was a
it
time when
must
we
have.
left when the
Because
concession cars got left, and the railroad couldn't get the concession cars back to us in the next city in time for the show. So concessions had no idea what they're going to do.
oh boy.
Yeah, I remember that distinctly. Uh, yeah, I'm not certain. Nonetheless, you do not want to get a phone
Either way,
call
yeah,
letting you know that
Yeah.
part of your train is
yeah. That's
X amount of miles in time behind you. So that was a big deal. That is one of the
yeah,
leading factors as to which got me into the trainmaster position. Yeah.
right on. So
I
So
was
how long
assistant
were you
trainmaster
assistant trainmaster
for.
for?
I'd have to look back on transportation orders, but I think it was. I think it might have been. It was less than a year. I'd say it was more than. I'd say it was between 9 months to a year. I think.
that sounds about
Yeah,
right.
I think it was roughly about nine
Yeah.
months to a year. Yeah. And
Okay.
then,
So
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
go for it. No, go ahead and finish what you're gonna say.
And then we were having, a lot of conversations with Mr. Lang, because Mr. Lang, the general manager, had some concerns because he knows my personality. B, I suffer from untreated ADHD, so I am 5 different directions at the same time. And I'm very excitable. Like when a situation happens or whatever, I don't I don't want to say I overreact, but I get very, 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 very passionate about that current situation and finding the
Yes,
solution and getting the solution implemented, fixing the problem, and it's no longer a problem. So I get very excitable.
yes.
I guess is the best way I
I've,
could put
I've,
it.
I've, I've seen you light up many cigarettes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's times I'm probably smoking 3 cigarettes at the same time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because like I said, I did not know all the behind the scenes of the Trainmaster job. I only knew what the previous Trainmaster I was under allowed me to see, and
which, yeah,
yeah, and yeah, it was anything close of what I did not expect what I got, and I would never trade that for a million years. I mean, it hurt. It was very exhausting. It was very stressful. It was
sure.
it was the greatest time of my life. The best I can say because I love pain.
Oh yeah,
I love rough. I thrive off
sure.
of you know.
And it was a good
Oh
adventure.
yeah, great adventure. And I got to do it with some of the greatest people, at the circus. Some very good friends, brothers, and sisters, and
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
minus the few every once in a great while, fish. I call them fish. Sorry, that once in a while the few random people that uh, came into the train crew family and then left the train crew family. For the most part, we stayed a family, family and friends for a very long time. It was us. I mean, we were in
Yeah,
it. We were in it to win it. It didn't, faces didn't change very often. So
sure.
you were always with the same people, and that's Ray, Eric, Nikki, Cassidy,
Yeah.
Chew, Junior. Oh, come on.
DJ.
Yeah, DJ. Oh, don't let DJ see
DJ.
this. Don't let DJ see this. I'm never gonna live that down. DJ and who's that air brakeman after it was after me? He went the straights.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, older guy.
There's an
oh,
older guy.
the one
Joe.
who
Was it
just
Joe?
disappeared. Oh,
Joe.
yeah, 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 yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
okay.
Joe. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember.
he went to straights after the circus shit done. Yeah. And
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
and Joe and
because him and Junior used to disappear all the time.
who?
Him and
Oh yeah,
Junior used
yeah,
to
all
take
the
the truck
time.
all the time.
Those two were freaking frack yin to his yang.
Yep.
uh and I really hope I'm not forgetting anybody. But I mean, those were the staples. Those were the fixtures. Like, I surely believe that if the show had not shut down, we would all still be there right now. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, hell, I even came back just for 2 months. Even if it was just for 2 months, I still came back for the end. You know what I
Not
mean?
Cody. So Cody Cody is still my long running friend.
Oh
I
yeah.
talk to Cody at least once a week. Cody just moved back to Pensacola, so we're back to being able to hold hands and skip on the beach. and most people who don't know me, you would find that amusing because that's not me, but that's me with Cody. um,
Oh yeah.
and I don't want to leave Cody out, but Cody was, he had such a small time there, a very
Oh, we
important
can't.
time, and he become one of
Sure.
my best friends, my brothers. But I wanted to,
Yeah.
the basic fixtures that have, been there the most and have
Can't.
been part of the family for the longest, and almost all of them, most of them. Well, no. So I say about half of them. Half of them I talk to and are still really good friends with, and a few,
I'll admit.
yeah.
I should. I should. Hey, I'll admit to you right now. I'm horrible. At keep talking to people. I should have been calling more often. But here we are.
Yeah, here we
So
are. But me and Chew are, I guess you would say, I guess the best way I could put it is me and Chew are inseparable. Me and Chew are, I mean, we go to Vegas. We've spent, me and his wife, and then me and my wife, we spend time in Vegas. You know, they always come down to visit and go to Disney and stuff. And then, unfortunately, I haven't really had an opportunity to go to Colorado to see them. But you know, me and Chew just spoke the other day, and he offered me, you know, 130,000 to move to Colorado, so I was closer.
Holy
That's the
cow.
kind of friendship me and Chew have. Yeah, we're very good
Yeah,
friends.
no, right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get him to call me, that'd be great. 'Cause I
I
tried to
will
get a hold of
absolutely
him.
give him a call and say, hey, you know, I know you're kind of like
Appreciate it.
me. You don't do this kind of thing because you stay out of the spotlight or try to stay out of the spotlight, and you're not a very I don't want to say antisocial, but just not sociable
Right.
being. But I think it would
Yeah.
be good to hear his
To
story
it
too,
too.
because he could definitely give you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely.
absolutely. I will make that happen.
Yeah,
I will. I will.
I appreciate
Yeah, I
that.
will make. I'll make sure that happens. I'll make sure. Yep,
'Cause
I can make sure that happens.
I
Sure.
So I got a question, Josh. How many Sharpie mustaches were drawn on people on train crew while they fell asleep in pie
Now,
car?
see,
sorry.
I know what you're doing. The
I
true
know a
question is,
handful.
how many did I have drawn on me?
Uh,
Oh well, I would. Well,
I can definitely
I
say
plead the fifth.
there are some members of train crew that did get the mustache. That is a circus tradition. We have a lot of circus traditions. One of the
I
major
know.
one that I still do at home. Like, I have not stopped this tradition since the circus has shut down, and you know, we all went our separate ways and had to deal with real life and not circus life anymore. But one tradition that has not died is getting pied in your face on your birthday. If you are in my house
Yes.
and it is your birthday,
Yes.
I will move mountains and I will fight Greek gods to make sure you get pied in the face.
Listen, I want all the viewers at home to know this. He is one of the guys that got me on my birthday.
It is my
So
favorite tradition, and I had so many people tell me there's no way I'm getting them, and I've gotten just about every single one. I don't think I can't remember. I'm trying to think hard. I don't think I ever not got somebody, because even BJ, even DJ. Now, I didn't go up there and just go bam,
really,
DJ, because that would have been a death sentence. But
uh,
I went up
yeah,
there and just
yeah,
went
oh yeah, that would.
boop, gotcha. I believe that was DJ. But every single
That's fair.
person that is in my house, that tradition does not, that is the tradition in my house, and everybody knows it. I don't care if you just came over to visit, you're getting pied if it's your birthday. And
That is awesome.
everybody in this house says they'll never get pied, they'll never get pied. Oh, you ain't gonna pie me. No, no, I'm better. And like the circus train, I had to show them. Oh, no. You don't know who you're dealing with. I will make it my last objective in life if I have to. You're getting pied. Yeah. So
What's your favorite? Uh, like, do you have any particular pie story that sticks out from the
yeah,
circus that you've
I believe
done?
it was the last one. I believe it was the last pieing. My last birthday I spent on the train. I got pied. I think I remember it was like 23 times.
Oh my
I mean, there were literally people, commend you for it. There were people who knew that there was no way they were going to get me by themselves. So somebody would put me in a situation, because train crew was in on it. They would put me in a situation where my attention had to be focused on something. And as my attention is
goodness.
focused, I completely forget that it's my birthday and that the world is trying to pie me. And that's when, you know, Chew, Eric, clowns, whoever, pie car, whoever got me at that moment would come up and get me. And as soon as they got me, I learned real quick that there are people in the shadows waiting for that opportunity to get me, because once you get pied, you don't think you're going to get it again right away. And there's instances where I remember getting pied 5 times in a row. I would no longer wipe it from my
Wow.
eyeballs and
Yeah, no,
got it again,
no point,
because they
right?
knew they weren't going to get another opportunity. So they had to take advantage of the situation. And I think I remember 23 times I got pied that day. Yeah. It was
Oh my goodness.
it was a day.
Wow. What was
Best
your best
pie.
pieing story
Mm.
on the train?
Mm. Man, I don't know. Since I made it pretty much a sport or a hobby, I've pied a lot of people in my career, and it's so hard to. It's hard to remember, and it's hard to distinct one from another. Because
I,
uh,
I think you got me on my 40th.
oh, I know I got you on your
The
birthday.
last.
I know that.
Well, I'm talking about on my 40th. It was the last time. I think it was the last train run into Rhode Island
Oh man, that would have
because it
been
was.
that would have been a tearjerker right there. That would have made me choke up a little bit if I got on our last
The,
run. Is just knowing.
I'm pretty sure you were the one that got me.
Yeah,
Um, but because I did a post on Facebook saying, "Well, this is it. This is the last pieing I will ever receive."
yeah, yeah.
From the,
One of these days, Ray, I'm telling you, and I'm making it a promise. And I don't break promises. Anybody knows me knows if I tell you it's a promise,
yeah, yeah.
I will fight the entire country of China single handedly without weapons to keep a promise. I will get you again.
Hey, that's fine.
I
I'll
may
send you
just
my
randomly
address.
show up one day to your house, knock on the door, and as soon as you open
That
it,
is that would be one of the greatest things ever, too.
I'm sure Chew will be with me. I'm sure
Here, I'm
Chew
about
will
to
be.
send you his
Oh,
address
that
right
would be
now.
I'm sure Chew
fantastic.
will be with me because I'm sure Chew would want
What
to
do you
get in
say,
on
me?
that. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, Josh, I don't think
Mm,
you'll get me.
you know how many people have said that? Famous last words.
Josh, I'm gonna even make it better for you. I live in Florida.
Dude, see, now you should have never said that because I can be anywhere in the state of Florida in less than 8 hours. That's just a
I know.
afternoon Harley ride for me. And Ray, you got to tell him, man. Once I get a mission, once I'm told I can't,
Oh, yeah.
the there's a wait. I'll just give you. I don't want anybody to think that I'm bragging or anything like this. I'm not bragging. I just did my job, but I did my job well because I took it serious. It wasn't a name on the door. It wasn't a paycheck. It wasn't a bigger room. It was the honor and the prestige and the just knowing that you're part of a very small group of you know men that were able to say they could be train masters on the circus train. Yeah, and
To hold a legacy.
I hold under my management. Under I don't want to say I hold because it was a group collective as an entire train crew. So the entire train crew gets the the prestige and the honor of me being able to say this. So I can only say it was under my management, but it was also under my management and my work ethic. Because I'm not a supervisor that just sits at a desk and answers emails. I'm always
Oh,
out in the
hell
field
no.
working with
You're
my
working.
guys. I do the same thing here, my current employment. My company prefers me to stay in my office and be a supervisor and worry about the paperwork and the day to day. I won't do it. I'm not a desk jockey. I'm going to be out there in my field working. If my guys are having a hard day or my guys are having issues, I'm right there with them, helping take care of those issues. So we yeah. Say again.
We've seen you grind.
Oh yeah. So
We've all seen you
I
grind,
hold,
sir.
according to I believe it was Rob Lang or it might have been Tom or one of the guys at Palmetto, but the way the way they told me, so I'm just saying what I was told, is that I literally hold uh the on time record for as Trainmaster. I was into cities. I had the least amount of times into a city late. And late, I mean within an hour window. You can't really say on the circus
Oh,
train.
yeah.
If you roll into town an hour late from the time that's on the paper, then you're early. Everybody knows that because there's so many things that go into making sure that train gets to the next city, and all the little cogs in the wheel that has to go perfectly without flaw to even get there. And not be late for the show is a very huge task. And I hold the record for the most on time in the cities. I think I was only late once that year. Went to one city, and that was because I believe it was because of a derailment ahead of us or something like that. I can't remember, but even then, we only rolled in 2 hours early or 2 hours late on top of the hour. So we'll say 3 hours according to the paper. We were late. Every other time that year, I was on time. Most of the time, early. And we also train crew also holds
Very
the best interior and exterior quarterly Buena Vertes mechanical inspections. Exterior, I believe, was 1, and interior, I believe, was 3. I'd have to go back. I still have the books in my dresser over here. They only found 1 thing wrong with our exterior of our train, and only 3 things wrong found on the interior. And anybody that knows interior inspections, that is a feat in itself. And I mean, hands down. I mean, that's the entire crew, because everybody joined in. I mean, most interior inspections, they were, in the hundreds, 100 things wrong. And they're just little nitpicky stuff like this light switch plate is loose, or this screw is loose, or
Yep.
this is not correctly installed. It was just little nitpicky stuff, but stuff that needed attention, obviously, on general maintenance of the interior of the train. And I'd have to double check, but I'm certain it was 3 on interior and 1 on exterior. So 3 records that I hold under my tenure as a Trainmaster. Yeah. So I'm very, 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 very persistent on being the best that I can. And when I tell you I'm going to pie you, if you say I can't, I'm going to pie you. I just wanted to give you a little insight, just to make you second guess your statement there, because I work for the federal government, so a little bit easier for me to find somebody than it is for anybody else. I get you.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe it.
So are we still
Um,
saying I'm not going to pie you in the face?
I think he's talking to you, B.
Yeah. I'm waiting for
I
the
know,
answer.
I know, I know. I mean, I'm going to save you a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and just, I mean,
Oh, don't give up now.
there you go.
Did you just say come get you?
Come get me.
Oh, it's on. Now
Yeah.
you have to give
Oh,
me one. You have to give me
Oh,
one. You
have
have
you
to give
checked
me a gimme.
check your messenger?
I got to at least know when your birthday is.
Check your messenger. August 28th. Check your
August
messenger.
28th. That's right. Oh, folks, you heard it first here at the Off the Rails podcast that this nice gentleman, for anybody that knows me, said I wasn't going to pie him in the face. And for all the wonderful people that rode the circus train for all the years that I was there, all the people that said I couldn't do it, I'll get it on video. I'll make sure it's posted on the train site on the Facebook. And oh,
I'll
there
post
you
it on our
go.
site.
Heck yeah.
all right. All right. Just make sure if you carry a sidearm, don't shoot me if you get pied in the face randomly on your birthday. Okay. All right.
Of course not, Joe.
All right, I got another question for you. Since now we're gonna get in, we're starting to get into the last Trainmaster
Yes,
bit.
sir.
So, was there a big difference between the red Trainmaster in the red unit and the blue unit for the short time you went over there to?
Uh, I don't want to say it was the Trainmaster, because I think the Trainmasters that had been over at the Blue Train, I don't think it's a case of name on the door, bigger paycheck, bigger room. I think what it is the case is it's a different mindset, a whole different world at the Blue Train. Like, I literally mean when I say it's a
Sure.
whole different world compared to the Red Show.
Oh yeah,
Different
that's hard.
management styles. The Blue Train. I hold the record for the most on time in the city. They hands down hold the record for the most times late into a city, which was, from what I understand, just about every trip. And I don't think it's so much. I don't think. Well, man, I don't really know because I didn't spend a whole lot of time, especially with like the Trainmasters over there. It's just a whole different mindset, a whole different. It's not that important. As long as we get there before the show starts, whatever. And then they're just so used to being late. Like the general manager, the assistant general manager, the what was Chris Thomas's job? Like transpo, yeah, something like that. All the people at the Blue Show, when I went over and ran the train and we rolled in, which is another funny story. Anytime I went over to run the Blue Show, uh, again, this is just me, what I've been told by the management over there and whatever. This ain't anything attaboys myself, but I was told that was the only time they were on time or early. I believe my first run as Trainmaster, I think we were on a train run. I think it was like 22 or 20. I want to say 22 or 24 hours. And I didn't sleep the entire time. I did not sleep from 5:30 on Sunday till we rolled in and offloaded the train on, I believe it was early Tuesday morning. I did not sleep, not a wink, not even falling asleep in Pie Car. I stayed up because I wasn't gonna fail. No, I was gonna show him who Red Show was. I was gonna show him.
On a side note, I've seen you
Oh no,
sleep
I'm not saying I never have. I'm saying on this specific
countless times.
run, I did not. Yeah, no, just on this specific. No,
Oh
I
yeah.
fell asleep all the time. Yeah,
Well, no, well, a lot what people don't understand is when the train masters, the train's moving and they're conducting it. A lot of times they come to the pie car
yeah.
because it's in the middle of the
And I
train.
know we got a little sidetracked, but the whole mustache,
So
I have had my face drawn on a lot because the tradition in the pie car is if you fall asleep, no, it don't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the general manager. If you come to pie car and you fall asleep,
you get
you're
the
getting
Sharpie.
written on with a Sharpie. It's not it's something you just wipe off. It's with a Sharpie. And I've had my face. Oh yeah. Yep.
Mustache,
Yep.
eyebrows.
Other things I'm not going to mention on this podcast. Yeah, a couple other
Hmm.
things. No, I got my face drawn on a lot, but no, I'm speaking of just that first trip with Blue Show. I did not sleep the entire trip from the beginning of the day to rolling in and offloading the train. I didn't sleep a single week. I didn't fall asleep in pie car, nothing, because I knew I didn't have my people I could lean on to know that they're going to draw on my face or they're going
Your
to
regular crew.
smack the table, and if they catch me sleeping they're going to wake me up because they know, yeah, he's exhausted, he's tired, but he wants us to make sure he stays awake. So I had people in pie car, and I had people that knew if they come into the pie car, just random people, clowns and wardrobe, if they came in and saw me sleeping, they'd make sure I got up no matter what, because I didn't fall asleep on purpose. I didn't fall asleep because I couldn't control myself.
Well, I I want to say this: the train master is a very hard, exhausting job. The train masters are up from anywhere from 20 to 48 to maybe
Yeah.
72 hours in one shift. So it's not just a you coming to Pycar
All
falling
right. Yeah.
asleep.
No,
So I want to
definitely.
say that out loud
And then
for
I
our
took,
viewers.
what I guess you would say the typical expectations of a train master, and I made it even harder for myself because usually how it worked was when we got done with load in, load out, the train master was on the radio 24/7. Like it was only the train master, maybe the assistant train master. When I took over, I implemented a procedure where uh, the heads of state within the train crew, which would be the train master, the assistant train master, the chief mechanical officer, which we haven't gone to, so I'll explain the chief mechanical officer. The chief mechanical officer is basically responsible for the generators, the generator rooms, the AC systems, and anything else mechanical on the train. He's the head of state that handles all of them type of repairs outside of what train crew would do, which is exterior, and what porters would do, which is general maintenance for the interior of the train. But my procedure was the assistant manager, the assistant train master, the chief mechanical officer, and the head porter. They would all take their turn in handling the radio. And by what I mean by handling the radio, once you start moving, you have to stay in contact with the head end. The head end, which is the locomotives that are pulling us, engineer, conductor, maybe a road foreman or whoever else is on there. You stay in contact with them so they can give you updates if there's any delays, if there's any situations maybe something wrong with the train, and then the aspect of being in transport. So if you don't know the railroad, when you work for a class 1 railroad, you have what you certify in what they call a territory. So a territory is basically your area of track that you're certified to be able to run trains in. If you're not certified to run trains in that territory, you can't run trains in that territory. Now, there are exceptions. If you bleed over into another territory, that you could have a road foreman who is certified for that territory. As long as he is on the head end with you, then you can run in that territory. But for the most part, you cannot transition over to another territory that you're not certified in. So then you would have to be on the radio to make sure that the recrews, which is the crew that is certified for the next territory, we're scheduled, we're ready, waiting for you guys to roll into that, what we call recrews, and that they were ready and on call, and ready to go. So the first, I'd say 48 hours, well, 36, we'll go 36. For the first 36 hours of load in, load out, I would get up, I'd sleep in a little bit, and the assistant train master would, handle the first morning duties. I'd sleep in a little bit just to get a little extra sleep. But once my day started by 9-10 o'clock, sometimes I didn't even sleep in, sometimes I'd be up at 6. From the time that day starts to the time that I am able to go to sleep again was no less than 36 hours. Maybe there's instances where it was a little bit less, but not by much. Like, it's not, I caught a fish this big, but it was really this big. I'd say average 36 hours. Sometimes I remember a couple train runs where they were having a lot of issues that I stayed up for quite a bit longer than that. And that's where I'm saying I punished myself even more, because I wanted to succeed. I wanted to. I did not. My only fear in life, like my only fear, I don't fear anything. I don't fear death. I don't fear a big guy that could beat me up. I don't fear anything. I have no fear. Only thing I fear is failure. And so my fear of failure, I guess you could say, would make me work harder, because I don't want to fail. And that's what gave me my record, in on time into city train runs, because the first X amount of hours, even if my guys went home and slept and got 8 hours of rest, I still would not give them the radio. They could not touch the radio. If it came to the point where they got their rest and they wanted to take over radio, and I've been having issues with recrews or anything else, or we're sitting in a hole waiting to leave or anything, I would not give any of my guys the radio. I would not go to sleep until I knew for a fact that if we were behind, we were making it up, and if we were getting delayed, that delay got taken care of exponentially, or whatever the words I'm looking for. So yeah, I probably made the trainmaster position a little bit rougher on my body and mind than it had to be, but it was my train. That's the best way you can look at it. It's my train. When the show is all set up and running, uh, it's the general manager's show and all that, and I'm the train master, taking whatever. But when that train is moving, it is my train. And yeah, so sorry, back to so when I did finally decide that I needed to, or I wanted to go to sleep, Then I would have, my chief mechanical officer take over radio, or my head porter, or my assistant trainmaster take over radio, so I could get some rest. And then none of them liked to do it, but they were under very specific instructions. No ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, no excuses. If we got put in a hole, which, sorry, again, terms of the railroad, if we got delayed, if we had to basically stop the train in a siding, which is track other than mainline that we travel on,
Sidetrack.
for a delay for whatever, maintenance ahead, recrew isn't here, derailment, Z train, which is the most important train on the rails. If we got delayed for any of that, they were to wake me up immediately if that delay was more than 10 minutes. That was their specific instructions. Doesn't matter if I was only asleep for an hour. Wake me up. Because I would call, if I had to start making phone calls, I started at the bottom. But if I didn't get told what I wanted to hear, I started going up. And I started going up every person on that list, our transportation order, until I got to somebody that either got tired of hearing my voice or just felt like he was going to do something. And I made sure that a delay that could, nope, not my train. Nope. Other than a derailment that took out all the track and rail cars laying all over it, I did not accept that. Figure it out. Because one of the biggest hiccups that you had was recrews. Recrews. When you work for a Class 1 railroad, you have what they call a 2-hour call. So that's why most people who work at the railroad, Class 1 railroad, can't indulge in alcohol, etc., because they could literally get off shift as long as they have had 8 hours of rest from the last time they were on duty. They can get called, and then they're called, and they have 2 hours to report, like a minimum, like maximum. They have to report to their location within 2 hours. So my little trick, my little trick that got me, the record of being on time all the time. My little trick was anytime, as soon as we got close to that mark, that I knew 2 hour out was called, I would always call ahead, both by via phone if I had service or the radio. I'd usually call 3 hours and say, "Hey, my recrew called," or "What's the status of my recrew?" And they would, "Oh no, we haven't called him yet." And I said, "Call him, because they get him there." "Well, we don't want to put him on too early because then they might die out on the rails." If there's a delay out on the rails that's going to put us in a hole, and your crew's going to die, your crew's going to die anyways. And die by meaning they run out of time, because they can only operate for 12 hours, a maximum of 12 hours. Once they hit that 12-hour mark, they have to shut down, and they cannot move after the 12-hour mark. 11:59, they are shutting down the train, and they are not moving until the recrew gets there. So
Oh
if
wow.
we were going to get delayed long enough to where they were going to die, it was going to happen anyways. So I don't care. Get my recrew called out. I want them 2-hour call. I want the recrew there when we pull in. They do their inspection. As long as everything's good with the inspection, the recrew, we leave. And I always made sure that I at least stayed awake for the first recrew. I would never give my guys the phone or the radio until I know for sure we got through the first recrew. Because there are some railroads, which I'm not going to name because I do a lot of business with these railroads now. There are some railroads that are very good and, very understanding and empathetic to the being there on time, if not early, and they moved mountains to get us there. And then there's other railroads that just didn't care, and they had to have a meeting about another meeting that they're going to have about the meeting they just had. They couldn't make a decision without 5 other people helping them make it. So, some was super easy and I could relax a little bit, go to sleep a little bit sooner. And then others I knew it's going to be a long day. But I was very
But
persistent, and I can say some got us there earlier on time because of the perks of getting me there on time, which I always told them, we roll into town early. We roll into town on time. Your family's going to see the show for free. I'm going to get you some tickets. We get X amount of tickets every
Oh
year
yeah,
or
let's
every
do
year
it.
for as a group. And one of the perks of being Trainmaster is you can offer that to them to help us out with whatever we need. Guy wants to take his family to the circus. He don't. It's easy. It's real easy to go to the circus with a family of four and spend $300-$400. That's easy.
Oh yeah.
So if a guy can get at least alleviate the cost of a ticket to go take his family, he's going to do whatever he can. And that one thing right there is what I typically didn't. None of my family, nobody I knew went to the show. I made sure I got tickets for the train cruise. If I had already run out of because we got we got allotted how many we could hand out, to the railroad. And when I ran out of that, then I started using my personal ones. On the other hand, some people just don't care about going to see the circus, and that doesn't work. So then you got to find something else. And I never gave up. I never just accepted it. I guess you would say I'm very persistent, and I don't want to say it's my way or the highway, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to get my way because I took the job very serious. I did, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, man, you guys are making me have some
So,
feelings I haven't had in a long time.
oh, hey man,
Yeah,
I hope they're good.
I'm so busy. Like I don't ever just have time to sit back
Just
and have
just to let
Hey,
memories.
you
And
know.
yeah, it's crazy.
what what's up, B?
Oh, I was saying it's about to get a little deeper,
That's
sir.
crazy.
Um,
I miss it. I really do.
So, oh yeah, we all do.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
It sucks that
so
nobody took it serious enough to realize, uh, it's a part of Americana. It's part of history. It's a fixture. Like you don't just disappear history like that. When we all got the word,
right.
Yeah,
when the
no,
announcement was handed down, I knew they were shutting down one show. I knew that was coming. I knew there was no way, no how, after that meeting that we all had, there was going to be two shows on rails. None
Right.
of us thought in a million years.
Now,
None of it. Not a single person
real
thought it
quick,
would be both.
for the viewers at home, there were three shows.
Well,
There was gold, red,
yeah,
and
but I'm
blue.
saying on the rails. Sorry, my bad.
I
Yeah,
know, but I'm just getting people. So, gold was Overland, red and blue were the two trains. We were all three of us were on the red. So, with that said, go ahead and
yeah.
finish.
And they shut down. The announcement came that they're shutting down all of it. Like there's like Ring Brothers done, finished. Nobody wants to see us. Nobody wants to see the circus anymore. Ticket sales tanked. Uh, you know, um, which I understand from a business point.
it happened when the
I'm
elephants
not
came
saying
up.
I blame them. I understand from a business point if you're hemorrhaging money, it ain't cheap to have a mile and a half long train travel from city to city. I mean, it costs a lot of money to do that, and if you ain't got the people in the seats, then you got to figure something out. But I don't know. I wish they would have figured out a way to correct that issue instead of just end
Sure.
it. Yeah. Mm.
So, what was a couple questions here? So, your favorite train run and favorite city?
Favorite train run? That would be the cross country. That would be the Florida to California. I think it was. Was it Florida to California?
Mm, yeah, yeah, because you up the winter quarters,
Yeah,
right?
we left
To
Florida
head
and
for
went
the second.
straight to California. Yeah,
Yep.
that's probably my favorite train run. Where most people were losing their minds because they got locked in a box for what was it, 5 days, 4 days, 5 days, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's about a week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the amount of that was another city that we rolled in on time or early. I don't remember which one it was, but that was probably the biggest win I had as a train master was making it from coast to coast and rolling into town on time. And I think that was actually my very first train run. But I was assistant train master, and the train master I was below had to take vacation or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I do remember I was assistant train master for that run, and that was my very first train run on my own. Like I was literally acting train master. Um, and we rolled into town early. That was probably my greatest achievement.
California. Well,
I
we
don't know.
went
You
to
guys are probably
the
going to bring up
Redwood.
some more memories that might have me
Oh,
debunk that. But as of right now, I believe that's my biggest achievement was getting the longest train run rolling into town early. That was my, as of right now, the greatest achievement I had. Yeah.
I remember we went to see the redwoods
Favorite.
Yes.
up there.
Yep.
I remember I found that, weren't even looking, and I found that
Yep.
geocache.
Yep. That's another fun story that me and Ray just discussed prior to this webcast. So train crew we Ray introduced it to us, and we all kind of we wanted to try it, check it out, and as soon as we all kind of seen what it was about, I mean, we all ran with it. We Every city we went to, so it's called geocaching. So you have an app. For the people that don't know what geocaching is, you have an app, and on this app, people have hidden a cache of random items. Who knows what you're going to open and find? And I remember the first time we went, it was cool because we could not, no matter what they do is they provide basically GPS coordinates or close enough GPS coordinates to that cache. And then if it wasn't exact coordinates or it was exact coordinates, they would give you hints on how to find it. Like, it's 2 inches from this, but 5 inches, just random stuff to help to not give it away, but to allow a thinking mind a way to figure out where the cache is. And like I said, as you opened it up, you would, we'd have the most random items in there. And then you would be able to mark that cache on this app that you had found it. And being on the circus train, I mean, you're the only people. You're the only people that can go to all these locations all over the country for X amount of time and find caches everywhere. I mean, I'd say it would be real hard for someone who didn't do what we did to find as many caches in as many places as we did, because you're not
Oh yeah.
afforded that opportunity. And the fondest memory I have of that was when me and Ray were just discussing. We all decided we were going to put in travel bugs. Now, a travel bug, you reach out to the company that runs the geocaching site and all that, and they send you this scannable thing that you can put on. You can attach it to something or whatever, but then that gives the next person who finds it the opportunity to scan it when they find it. And then the purpose or the responsibility of that person is to now take that travel bug with them, and they drop it off at the next cache they found, wherever it may be. And so that's why they call it a travel bug. People just keep recording and finding it and recording it and repositioning it and moving and moving and moving. And I got this crazy idea. I took one of my favorite watches because I really like watches, like, nice fossil, like old school fossil watches, and a couple other watches. Well, I had this really nice watch my wife had got me, and it had broken, and it stopped working. It was a nice watch, but it wasn't it wasn't worth fixing. Probably would have cost more to fix it than to not fix it. Well, I got the crazy idea to pull all the guts out, keep the window of the watch, but pull everything else out. And I cut that travel bug in just the way that it fit inside that watch. So when you lifted out the watch and you looked at it, the scannable and all the information for that travel bug was right there in the watch instead of the watch face. And I got the idea because I wanted something that I knew people would find, cool, and just, just throwing back a little, to find something like that. Because I know doing geocaching, we had found a couple random ones that were really, really thoughtful and really, really, uh,
Oh
just
yeah.
wow, but not a lot. And I wanted the wow factor. My whole life, I dare to be different. I don't want the same as everybody else. I don't want to look as the same as everybody else. and I put that in every aspect of, my cars, my bikes. I don't want something everybody else is riding. So I put forth all my effort to make sure it's one off. I only have it. Nobody else can say they have it because I've done whatever to it. So I made this watch, and the last update I got from Ray, shoot, it's probably been a year, maybe less, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. And the last update I had from Ray is where'd we start, Ray? Austin? San Antonio?
No, that one was in Rhode Island.
No, I thought our travel book started in Texas.
No, we made that in Rhode
Okay.
Island. The
All
final
right.
show. Yeah.
So our travel bugs were put into the cache in Rhode Island, and from then, which I think was what we shut down in 2017, so that would have been probably what 2015, 20. Yeah, it was. It wasn't right when I came back, but it was relatively new.
Ooh.
I'd say within 6 months of me returning, maybe 8 months of returning. So it had to be 20. Yeah, I'd say 2015. What would you say, Ray?
No, I thought maybe you did make them in Texas, but we released them in Rhode
Okay.
Island.
All right. So
So it was 2017 when they were
all right. So
released, I thought.
there we go. 2017. So 2017 to
Yeah.
now. I never really got a whole lot of update on yours and Nikki's, and I believe Eric's, and I think there's one.
They all disappeared.
Oh, they just
They
disappeared.
disappeared. Yours was the only one that kept going.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't really move a lot, and then now Ray just told me they disappeared. But the only one that kept going and kept traveling was mine, and it is currently in China. So it started in Rhode Island, and to hear the updates every time I talked to Ray after the circus shut down, to hear the updates just blew me away. And then to find out that something I put in Rhode Island, just something is, is something is just. I thought it was cool. Maybe obviously everybody else thought it was cool, but just something is a watch with a travel book in it. Blows me away that it's currently in China and traveling China, and who knows where else it's going to end up. Just blows me away. Like my travel bug
Well,
is in China. It just blows you away. Also makes you think all the things that you take for granted, and yeah.
Go for it, B.
oh yeah. Well, would you like to help? Would you like to help create a off the rail
I am
geocache that will
I
travel
am
around the
for that.
world? That would be
I
unique.
am all for that. Absolutely. We would definitely have to get our
Awesome,
collective minds
awesome.
together and come up with something
We will
just
get together after
We
the
can
show.
do a
amazing. I mean, something that just
off the
blows
rail
the watch idea out
travel
of the
bug.
water. Like the watch was nothing compared to what we're gonna do.
We'll try an off the rail
And I
travel
have
bug.
all the equipment and
Perfect.
I have everything. I got welders, I got fab stuff. I got a whole shop in my backyard that I can construct, create anything we come up with. Sky's the limit.
No, we'll figure it out.
Well, we just inquired a very high end UV printer, so it
Awesome.
could be a
Hey, I'm
very
all for it.
collaborational.
Absolutely. I think that I would, I definitely, I didn't, I kind of lost, I don't want to say I lost interest, but I lost the ability to really focus on it. So Ray's been keeping track of it for
Sure.
me. Um, I would definitely like to have the ability for all of us to be able to, log in whenever we wanted and see where it's at. Yeah. I wish I would have followed mine more closely. Thank you, Ray, for doing that for me.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, we'll launch it soon, and we'll keep
Heck yeah.
posts up
And I
this
mean,
year
we all
about
got
it
to
and
be
see where it
together when we
I
travels.
launch
gotta.
it. So that means,
Yeah,
it
we'll
sounds like
figure that
Ray's
out.
gonna have to plan
I
on
got.
coming to Florida.
Yeah, I've been told.
Yeah.
Trust me. I got vacation time I got to use, but
Oh
I got
yeah.
to use it
Well,
soon.
there you go.
B. Don't you
And wouldn't that be
So,
go for
so?
it?
The
all right.
show winter quarters was in Florida. The circus headquarters, the headquarters for the show, not
Yeah,
the Ringling Mansion or anything like that, but even the Ringling Mansion,
right. Yeah.
Ringling Brothers Mansion, the original owners of Ringling Brothers, the actual Ringling Brothers. I think that's where we start.
There you go.
Start the
Yeah, that's
travel
pretty
bug
dope.
where I assume it all started. I mean, well, no, I mean, I don't think. I don't think that's correct. I think
Ringling Brothers, they actually started back in the 1800s in Baraboo, Wisconsin. So,
then
and
we take a
then
trip to Wisconsin.
and
I love cheese, so
There you
I'm sold.
all right.
Wisconsin cheese curds. I'll fly all the way to
go. Oh
Wisconsin just
yeah.
for that.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah.
I think that's the only. I think that should be the only way we do this. Is
A
we
trip to
start
Baraboo, Wisconsin.
the Ringling travel bug where Ringling started. I mean, what I don't think we could really start it. I mean, the only other place I can think we could start it is maybe Ellington, or Sarasota.
Oh, let me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Sarasota
one
was
of
the
those
second
places.
mention.
I think it's got to be. It's got to start somewhere in the near vicinity of the original. The original Ringling Brothers. Definitely. Heck yeah, I'm all
Absolutely.
for
Yeah,
We'll
that.
get all that worked out soon.
I'll order a
Awesome.
bug.
All
So,
right, I am all for that.
Anyway, B.
That'd be cool.
so on a little bit, uh, what was it like on that last train run for Red Unit and Blue Unit? Like, because I believe you were
That
the
is
last
correct.
train master for both shows,
I
right?
got goosebumps. And before I say this, I've learned this being, after leaving the circus and coming out here to what I call the real world. You know, I knew I wasn't gonna walk around like some movie star or some, famous person. I knew that. Like, I'm not naive, but I thought I had a little. I felt like, and I thought that there would be at least a little bit of, wow, that is so cool. And I'd say 98% of the reaction, because you actually said the one thing that I pretty much say that when they ask what I've done, previously, or what'd you do before you started where I work now. Because as soon as I left or as soon as I left Ringling Brothers, I came to the company that I'm currently at, and I've been there ever since. Um, I thought at least a little bit there would be, the people that got told the story would just be blown away and just be, uh, just wow, that is so cool. And it's not like, I'd
That
say
wow factor.
95. I'd say at 95, and it could be less, but 95% of the people that I tell, and I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't just go out and start telling people, stories or my life history. So it's got to be a situation where, uh, I know the people, or I'm they are friends of people or whatever. 95% minimal reaction. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Hey, that sounds fun. Yeah, woohoo.
Or it's usually, oh, you were a
Yeah.
carny?
Oh,
No. No.
and as much as that got me fired up as it did on the circus, it fires me up even more. As soon as someone says carny, I say, no, no. You're confused. A carny is a person who runs the little fair rides at the little fair that's in town, sending down at the mall parking lot once a year. No, I was a train master of the world renowned, longest running, prestigious Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Oh,
That's what I was a train master of. I am not a carny, far from it.
a traveling
Yeah,
show.
yeah. So yeah, no, that gets me fired up anytime somebody says carny. Yeah.
Mm.
And then when some people, a lot of people, and one of the sayings is, a lot of people
So
like to
what?
say this, and it's one of my favorite things to say is, I can't, I swear this place is a circus. And I'm like, nope, not even close to a circus. This place is a joke. A circus is a well oiled machine with many, many cogs all running to form one specific outcome, that's to provide the entertainment of the Ringling Brothers to the, you know, to the populace, and make sure it gets there and then leaves and gets there next city, uh, so they can do it all over again. I said, that's the circus. This is not the circus. Because most of the times when that comes up, it's not a well-oiled machine as to what they're talking about. It's a cluster, whiskey tango foxtrot moment. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that all the time, and I have the same. I'm like, nope,
Yeah,
not even
not even
close.
close. I'm sorry. I think I got a little bit squirrel to your question.
Yeah. What?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I was just trying to figure out what was the what were your thoughts knowing that you were on the last train
Bittersweet,
run for the
sad,
Ringling Brothers.
depressing, exciting, happy. Probably every emotion you could possibly go through for every instance in your life. I mean, I can honestly say that the only other thing that hurt me the most when having to leave the show was when my wife passed away. That's probably the only other thing that hurt me
Hear that?
close to what it felt like to lose your wife is what it felt losing the circus. Obviously, losing the wife was was more obviously, but I'd
Sure.
say
Oh yeah.
in order to, because I don't show my emotions. Uh, I understand it might not be a correct ideology, and HR has tried to drill that into my head, but the way I was brought up, the way I was raised, and the way I've lived every day of my life is, grown men don't cry, and if they do, they don't cry in front of anybody. You never let anybody, no matter what, see that no matter what, you don't let anybody see it in that moment, because in my ideology is you let somebody see that you're showing your weakness, and you show your weakness, people are going to take advantage of that, and nobody take advantage of me. Nobody. No, you ain't getting one up on me. You ain't taking advantage of me. I do not. I am a rock when I'm around people. So I don't show a lot of emotion, and yeah, those were the two defining moments in my life that I couldn't hide it. I mean, I teared up, I was choked up, but I was also happy knowing that I am, like you said, and like I always tell people, I am the last Ringling Brothers circus train master to ever run a circus train to a destination city. Now, have I? Tom. Man, I can't believe I can't remember his last name.
Dylan.
Tom Dillon. There you go. Tom Dillon, which is a legend. A legend.
Yes.
Definitely a mentor and a man I look up to. Previous train master. He definitely. Everybody knows Tom. Tom Dillon and John Barry was the actual two train masters
Yeah, John Barry.
that were on the final movement of the circus train. But as for the final run into a destination city that we were playing, I do go down in the history, and I don't believe. I'm almost certain nobody is ever going to be able to take it away from me. I believe that's something I'm going to be able to get to keep for the rest of my life. Uh,
Sure.
I tell everybody I am the last circus train master to run a circus train to a city for show, and I did that on both trains. I just blew me away that it was offered to me. It was I mean it was offered because they knew I could do it. They knew I knew what I was doing. Uh, they needed someone to do that because of the situation, but they don't know what they did. Like they did. I mean, they literally gave me the ability to say that, and I think that's what made me super happy and super sad knowing that I was the end of two circus trains. Like I am literally the guy that's telling you, "Hey, we're here. This isn't goodbye. We'll see you down the road." To two entire trains of entire people. Yeah, it was.
Mm.
Yeah, it was rough. It was. But it was bittersweet. Also, like I'm glad I was the one.
So you went from the red unit,
That is
getting them to
that
their
is correct. So
destination
I
city.
took the last run for Red Unit was to Manchester, New Hampshire, from where I'm trying to remember where we left. I got it in transportation orders. Nonetheless, our last destination city was Manchester, New Hampshire, and I took the Red Unit to that final destination. I got the train spotted. I got it all, opened up and ready, and they began the process of getting the show and getting ready for their last show. And then I
Wow.
got on an airplane.
Sorry. Hey, I didn't mean to cut you
Oh,
off.
sorry.
That last show was in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Is it?
Yes, last show was Rhode Island for a red unit.
Yeah. Was it Manchester?
No, it's Rhode Island,
Yeah, but what city?
not New Hampshire. Oh, oh, jeez. That I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure either.
yeah,
Uh,
it was Rhode Island. Yeah.
okay, so my apologies, Rhode Island. Like at the beginning, I
Okay.
explained my memory is so shot. Um,
No, you're good,
but
bro.
then I got off the train and I was there for a day, and then I got on an airplane and flew down to Charleston, West Virginia, and ran their last train from
That's a
Charleston
fun town.
to Uniondale. Yeah.
Mm. So you're the one
That
that
is
parked
correct.
both
I
of
am
the
the one
last
who
trains.
I am the one who parked the last two trains. I am the one who made the final announcement. Pretty much the same announcement I made on the red train, kind of little thing I wrote. And no, I don't.
Do you remember it?
I believe that's one of the few things that I wanted to suppress and
Oh,
not remember. That was not the fondest
gotcha.
moment, and even though it was bittersweet, and I was the last train master to ever run the train,
It was
it was also really hard because
Providence, my friend.
so many people lost their jobs, their homes. I mean, somebody who never got the experiences would never understand. Well, I guess they could take your current life with your job and your home and your friends or your family, that the people you call family. Basically, everything every day you eat, sleep, and breathe, and then over, done, lose it all. That's what it feels like.
It was Providence, Rhode Island.
Providence, Rhode Island.
Yep, it was.
Man, I am getting old,
All
and
right.
my mind is
Well,
slipping. Well,
Mm.
one of the perks of being a trainmaster and staying up for so long is between this and my current job, I've, I suffer from CRS extremely bad.
that's
So yeah,
well.
that was a lot.
All right.
I mean,
With
most
that
people
said,
who've been on a circus or who spend a lot of time on the circus, one of the things that I love the most about it, aside from the prestige, the honor, and the family and all that, was I didn't have a mortgage, I didn't have a car payment, I didn't have,
oh yeah,
you know, I didn't have an electric bill, and I didn't have, the only thing that basically the only thing that you had to pretty much pay for living on the circus train was your food and your basically your day to day toothpaste, toothbrush, stuff like that. But for the most
and
part,
whatever other bills you
you
made.
didn't have to pay for everything else. Now, granted, you didn't live on the circus train or work on the circus train to get rich. It's not a job you get rich at,
Oh yeah,
but you
no.
get rich in memories. Uh,
Oh yeah.
I didn't care
Oh,
about the
most
money.
definitely, most definitely. But all right, listen up, brother. With that said, we are running out of time.
Okay, yeah, sorry, you
So
guys took me down memory lane.
that's
If you guys need to
oh,
edit
that's
some
hey,
of
that's
it, I
what we're
mean,
here for.
I give my full faith in you to edit what you need to edit, and if we need to add anything to it once you edit it, let me know. I can come back on and help you with that.
What I do ask my guest though in closing, um, is there anything, any advice you would give any youngsters out there who are looking to run away with a show, any kind of show?
Or even
Hey,
become a
or yeah,
trainmaster
even getting in the
themselves.
rail business.
Uh, Absolutely, and I don't think it just strictly relates to Trainmaster or Ringling Brothers in this instance. It does, but number one, always take that chance, because that's what I did. I took a chance, never knowing anything. I ran away to the circus. Take the chance. Don't hesitate. Life is too short. Take the chance. See where it gets you. It might lead you to good. It might lead you to bad, but it leads you somewhere, and you learn a lesson, and you have, if it goes good, you have memories for the rest of your life. And never take anything for granted. I mean, if it wasn't for Ringling Brothers and everything that I learned and everything that I did there, I would definitely not be able to do the job I do now. And I mean, I'm in charge of some very important stuff, and I make really good money doing it. And I would have never been able to do what I do now if it weren't for my time at Ringling Brothers. So you never know what that opportunity that you might be afraid of, or you might just you never know what you're gonna get from that. I mean, I got a lot from that I incorporate in everyday life. So don't ever not take a chance.
Right on. All right,
Awesome.
you heard it here, folks. That was the last train master, the ringmaster of the rails, Josh Rupert. It's definitely been a good time. I enjoyed it. You took me back down memory lane
Oh man,
too.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh
have you
yeah.
back. We're gonna have you back at some point. And other than that, with that said, everyone, until next.
You know
What's
what
that?
we need to do? Hold on, I'm sorry. We need to try to get on Train Crew.
The whole train crew.
Yeah,
Wow, a train
Then we could
crew
try.
reunion,
I
huh?
could
have
tell.
an episode,
I could.
just a little reunion, maybe a
Oh
half
no,
an
I
no,
could
hour
no,
try that.
show.
brother.
I could tell you.
That's not a half-hour show. You better no. You better.
Right.
Well, the
Oh,
half
I
an
was gonna
hour is what
say
I can
you
show.
you you
Yeah,
are you might as well go ahead and figure out. You might as well go ahead and give up a half a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the stuff you're gonna
that's
get in a
fine.
half a day to fill a 30-minute block is gonna be probably the best 30-minute episode you have. I can't see
Guaranteed.
anything topping that.
We'll get R and you on that
Absolutely. You
to
have
get the
any
crew
issues with
together again.
anybody,
Our
you let
doors
me
are
know
always open
because
here for you guys.
I mean, other than a couple of them, I'm really good friends with all of them. I mean, I still talk to DJ. Joe, I haven't talked to Joe since he left. Nikki, I haven't talked to in ages. Eric, I haven't talked to in ages. Other than that, Cassidy. Yeah. So half the crew I can help you with.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right, guys.
All
Well,
right.
as I was getting to, you heard it all here, folks. So until next time, we will see you down the road. All
All
right.
right.
So you want me to go ahead and get it going?
Yeah. All right. Ready? Go.
All right. Howdy, everyone, and welcome to Off the Rail Podcast. You're off the rail. Oh, God. I got to do that all over again. Sorry. All right. Hang on. Yeah, I screwed that up. All right. 1, 2, 3.